Hello and welcome to the High Horror Society. This evening, Kyle and I took a look at We Are Still Here. This is a little movie that we found on Netflix.
Mm.
It's from 2015, so it's a relatively recent film. Overall, I think the general consensus that's a hard word, consensus. Overall, I think that it was a pretty decent horror flick. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the nods and the kind of the overall feel, the old school horror vibe that I got from this. I thought it was really well done. I thought the camera work was great. I thought the colors and everything were really reminiscent of horror movies from that time.
Yeah, definitely.
What did you think of it?
I really liked it. First time saw it. The gore was pretty good.
Yes.
Like the heads being split open and the blood spraying and
Yeah.
that was good. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It was definitely high up there on the gore side, which was totally cool with me because I love gory horror movies, but it wasn't excessive. I think that's what I liked about it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, it
some
wasn't all the
movies are
time.
just gory to be gory.
Yeah.
Like all they show is blood, guts, and viscera. Like,
The next camera angle is another gory shot.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. I think this had this did really well, like playing up the gore. It didn't play it. It wasn't too much. It was there, and it was just enough there to where when things happened, like you were like, oh shit. Like
Yeah.
I think like if you're watching a scary movie and like it's one of those that it's just like gore, blood, guts all over the place all the time. You get like it's almost overload, and
Yeah.
you don't even care anymore. You don't
Yeah.
even see it anymore. It's like when you play a super violent video game, you know?
Yeah, you just expect it all the time. Like, here it
Right?
comes.
Yeah.
I like the unexpected.
Yeah, you just expect it all the time. It's just too much. It's like overkill, and your body just like doesn't care. But this movie handled it very well. I thought there's some key parts where it was just like bam, boom, and it's like ooh man, that was well done, and it definitely saved things for the end. Like
Yeah.
it was one of those, where it's a slow burn throughout the first like 3/4 of the movie,
Mhm.
and then it's like
It picks
You know.
up for sure.
yeah, the last
A lot
20 minutes are
happens.
just like we're going balls to the wall.
Here's every dollar spent on gore. And
every dollar.
just make it look as awesome as possible.
And then they did, man. I
Yeah,
thought,
that was a good job.
I thought the gore and the special effects were really well made. They used a lot of practical effects, which I
Mhm.
enjoy
Mhm.
a lot.
It wasn't too like cinematography or like just something like that.
Yeah, wasn't
It was-
a lot of like just campy CGI bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everything looked real. Like even the
Wait,
ghost.
what did I say?
stuff.
What is
Cinematography?
what is that?
It's
I was thinking CGI.
CGI. It's okay. See, I knew what you were thinking. That's why I just jumped right in
There you
there.
go. See,
And there I go
Perfect
again,
team.
making hand movements while no one can see
there
us.
you go. Basketball hoop.
Basketball
Shoot.
hoop. Whoop. I'm gonna do that every episode.
Cinematography.
Do
What
this
is? It's another type of filming, I think. But
shit. It's okay. We could edit that part out.
no, we gotta keep that going.
No edits. We don't.
No
do
edit.
edits.
We don't edit,
fucking-
people.
Yeah,
Learn
go
that
all the
now.
way.
We're not gonna edit. We screw up. We're human. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just laugh at it and
And move on. That's just
move
how
on.
you
Maybe
do
come
it.
back to it again and then move on again.
So, to start us off, the movie starts off, and again, we will be talking about We Are Still Here from 2015. It is on Netflix. I should warn you that we'll be talking about a lot of parts of this movie, and you may consider them spoilers. And we'll do our very best to refrain from kind of delving too deeply into the details. But just if you want to go in, I think this is personally, I think this is a movie people should go into blind. If you are listening to this, I think
Yeah.
you should stop and watch the film first and then listen. It'll probably you'll get a lot more enjoyment out of it for sure. But yeah, definitely there's gonna be lots of spoilers. I'll try
Yeah.
not to, but we can't promise anything because it just kind of that's the format.
Yeah,
So
and I like sharing stuff.
I do too. Yeah, I mean it makes it more fun. So anyway, the movie starts off with the two main characters moving to a new house in bumblefuck nowhere. Their son had just passed away in a horrible car accident, I believe, is what
Yeah.
they had said.
Yep.
They
Little
come to
Bobby.
this Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah, poor Bobby comes
Poor
to this.
Bobby.
They come to this new town, and they're there for a couple weeks. And in classic horror movie fashion, some weird old man shows up with his weird fucking wife, And out of nowhere, and this movie takes place in like the 70s, so it's understandable because maybe this is more commonplace because you would never do this now. Like you would never show up at your neighbor's house now. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's where we live. When you moved here, did your neighbor show up at your house?
Actually, yeah, but
Oh.
we didn't let them in the house.
Oh.
Like they were nice and cool, and we've gone to when they moved, we went to their neighbors just like outside, like greeting.
Yeah.
Nothing like, hey, we're gonna come in your house and tell
Okay.
you what's wrong with your
Yeah.
house that you just bought.
So yeah, in classic horror movie fashion, the old man and the fucking wife come in and they tell them all about the horrible past of this house, and they say, there was it was a morgue or funeral home rather that this gentleman who was ran, and him and his family lived in the house, and he was selling the bodies to like the universities and stuff like that, and the old man was like, yeah, he was even sold them to the Chinese so they could make chop suey, and it's just like the wife like spitting out her drink like, oh my god, that's terrible.
I just had chop suey last
I just
night.
had chop suey. But anyway, so they're telling this horrible story, and the whole time the old man's telling the story, the old man's wife is just giving this like horrible look, like no, and then she finally speaks up about something about, and then like the husband shuts her down immediately. It's just like, oh, we have to leave. We have to leave.
Yeah.
So, they come in for their quick drink and they take off. And,
They're always drinking whiskey.
oh God, the main couple, they're always drinking whiskey. Or at least the dude was. I
Yeah.
guess if I had a wife like that, I would fucking drink whiskey.
Oh,
all
yeah,
the time,
definitely.
too. She seemed like she was a bit much.
High maintenance.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I get
definitely.
the kid died, but
Yeah, I
mean,
guess you can't really picture
Bobby's
out.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Bobby's not here.
Bobby's not here. But
Let me go drink some more whiskey.
You can
'cause
go
Bobby-
drink some more whiskey. I want to see Bobby again. This helps me.
helps me
make
sleep.
the connection. But so anyway, the old man leaves. Then the couple's looking at each other like, "What the hell's going on?" So anyway, we find out. Throughout watching the movie, that all this weird shit starts to happen. Of course, strange bumps and noises, strange noises, and everything. So the wife gets it in her head, like, "Oh, my son Bobby is coming back and communicating with me from the grave." She finds his baseball mitt in the cellar, the creepiest cellar in the world, by the way.
They found the best cellar basement.
They found the best
for
house.
this movie. Yeah, the
house
was
amazing.
Yeah,
like everything
location,
about this house. Like
location was good. House was perfect.
It was.
Basement was, yeah.
It was
awesome.
great. I loved the house. Like it had that 70s. Like it looked like my grandparents' house. Like it really did look like my grandparents' house. Or at least their basement, anyway.
Mhm. Yeah,
It
the
was
stone walls.
the fucking the same colors, the same couch, the same type of rug.
Yeah,
They had
the wood
same
floor.
the same type of like record player, and like just all of it. It was all just so that era. It was perfect. Like I literally felt like at times I was watching a movie from the 70s. Like it was awesome.
They set it up. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was
scene and
very
how they
believable.
decorated.
All the clothes and everything. I was actually when we were doing research for this, I read a note that they got all their clothes from a thrift store, like local thrift stores. So it could be as authentic as possible. And they also borrowed a lot of the old cars from the neighborhood in the town. I forget what the town's name was. Shortsville, New York. Yeah, the filmmakers were lent the cars by the neighbors in Shortsville. So thank you, people of Shortsville. You just helped sell awesome. I think there was only like 3 cars in the whole movie, but still, giving somebody the use of your vintage fucking car, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. As long as you don't crash it. And then...
Yeah. Well, if you notice, they didn't crash it, though. They just kind of had... So anyway, we'll talk about that. We're jumping the gun. We're jumping the gun. Yeah. So anyway... the wife starts hearing all this weird stuff and tells the husband, I'm hearing all this weird shit, and I think we should have our friends come out and look at the house, because the one woman is a psychic medium, and the guy is really earthy. Remember she said earthy, and the guy's like, because he's a stoner, and she's like, no, he's earthy, which I love. I'm gonna use that from
We're gonna steal that.
Yeah, definitely stealing that. But so they go And the of course the psychic medium and the husband come. The guy looks like Jack fucking Nicholas.
Nicholson.
Nicholson, sorry. Looks like Jack fucking Nicholson.
From the Shinnin.
Yeah, he
The
does.
Shinnin.
He's perfect. Like
Yeah.
he should definitely like a young one. So anyway, he goes and they come in, they introduce themselves, and the spiritual wife's all like, "Oh yeah, there's an energy here.
There's
Like, I
something
feel
here."
it," So anyway, they go to dinner, and I'm sorry, I'm skipping over the part where the spiritual couple, their son is coming to stay with them as
yes.
well, because the son and Bobby, the son who passed away in the car wreck, they were buddies,
They're buddies.
and they went to college together. So they think that bond and connection is going to help them connect, transcend that death-life barrier and make it.
With
They're
Bobby.
going to be their friendship is going to live past death. So they go to this restaurant to eat in the local town. It's the only one in town, they said, right? So of course, again, in classic horror movie fashion, they walk in and everybody's staring at them. So I love this movie.
The door
because,
opens,
like,
everyone turns.
Yeah, everyone turns and looks at the new fucking people in town. This was classic old school horror movies, like
Yeah.
I down to the T. Even down to the kind of the campy overacting that like the mom did.
Yeah.
It was a little much, but
Definitely.
I thought it worked out well because it was like that kind of annoying bitchy wife. Like you didn't really care about her, but like you just I don't know. But anyway, I
Yeah.
thought she was perfect.
Yeah,
She
you
pulled
loved
it
her
off.
but hated her.
Yeah, this was definitely, I guess if you could call it a period piece, it is. I don't know. It definitely it had so much of that feel to it. It was great. It was just like that's been kind of a resurgence in horror movies the past like 5-10 years or so. It's like kind of going to the vintage route. Like there's this director called Ty West, and he does that a little bit. This Adam Wingard, they all kind of borrow like old sounds and stuff, but especially Ty West. He made this movie called House of the Devil that like even has that like grainy film vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Nice.
It's another one of those slow burns, and again, this movie's a slow burn. It takes a little bit getting going. So anyway, they're at the restaurant. Everyone in town's being weird, and what I love about it is they call it out. Like a lot of horror movies, like they're it's one of those classic horror movies, but it's a little more self-aware, I think, and I think that helps us love the characters a little bit because they're like, man, this is bizarre. This is so weird. Why is everyone staring at us? Why is everyone treating us so weird? This is crazy.
You got to eat in the back of the restaurant, away from everybody, so we can all talk about you.
Right, so we could all talk
new
about
folks?
you and look at you, and the waitress is like, eavesdropping and on them and everything. So in the meantime, while they're all out to dinner, the son and the daughter that were coming from the spiritual couple, I forget their names. It's gonna be terrible.
Which is good. Maybe we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
we'll just
they come and of course things go ape shit once they get there, and
they're all alone. Everyone's
all
out
alone,
to
and
eat. They're at home.
The
alone.
ghosts do away with them, and while the parents are out all eating and having fun, and the ghosts were actually really smart about doing away with the kids because the car that they drove up to the house, they killed the boyfriend first, and they chased the girl out of the house. She jumps in the car and drives away, and the whole time you're thinking like, oh man, she's gonna get it, like, and I was totally thinking they were gonna do the classic horror movie, like she starts the car and it doesn't go, and she starts hitting the wheel like, oh no, and as the ghosts are slowly walking up to her, it didn't do it. The car starts right away, and she fucking peels out of there. And like I was thinking, and I think you even said like she's gonna get stuck in the snow, and like I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, she's gonna get stuck in the snow. Does not happen.
Nope.
Bitch
She gets on that road. She
gets on that
hauls
road,
it too.
gets a couple miles out of the way, and then all of a sudden, bam! Yeah, I'm not gonna ruin it, but let's just say
something happens.
The ghosts got rid of the car and they got rid of the body. So
so when the parents come home,
they're none the wiser. They just assume, hey, our kids aren't there yet. And we were talking about how that's so fucked up nowadays. Like that would never happen nowadays. Like if that situation occurred now and the mom and dad and the two couples arrived home and they saw like, oh wow, our kids aren't there, immediately calling the cell phone, texting and shit like that. You'd be asking the kids while you're out to dinner, what's your ETA, what's going on? I know when my mom's constantly texting me throughout the day. It's just like, oh my god. And so like I can only imagine. But back then back in what 35 to 40 years ago, there wasn't
Yeah,
cell
there's
phones.
nothing.
There were no
Well,
answering machines. Like
even in the movie, they had to leave a
a
letter
note on the door.
yeah, on the door,
Right.
like, "Hey kids, we're out.
Who
You
leaves
can.
notes anymore?
This is where we are, or like meet us here, or just stay at the house, and we'll be back later." They chose to stay.
Yeah. I would never leave a note anymore. I
Yeah,
would just
no,
text
yeah.
somebody and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, when you get to my house, do this."
Yeah, or sometimes do both, leave a note and text,
Right.
or call.
Yeah.
Just maybe your
Text
phone's
them, I
off.
left you a note.
I tried to call you, your
I
phone's
tried
off.
to
I'll
call
leave a
you,
note.
left you a note. But yeah, that wouldn't happen nowadays. So
Mhm.
we were talking about how like, holy shit, like your kids could be dead for days and you would just have no idea
Yeah,
at all. And so they go in
It's
the
crazy.
house, none the wiser. They come back home. They're like, oh, they must have stayed overnight somewhere. They must have stopped for the evening. Okay, well, let's just get on with drinking and partying. Well, they get on with drinking and partying. And when you know it, they will go to bed and they start having fucked up dreams and
Yeah.
stuff. And that's
the
when-
same time keeps showing up.
Oh.
There's a sleep scene too.
that's
Every
right.
time.
Kyle noticed that at pretty much every time something occurs in the house, it's 2:45 on the clocks, and they do show the clocks often.
Yeah,
So I don't
Yeah.
know what significance that has, but
I don't know.
I noticed that.
I've heard that like 3 a.m. is prime like ghost or spiritual time coming out like at
Yeah,
nighttime.
I've
Like,
heard that too.
I wonder if they're trying to maybe
Play
do
up on that a
something
little.
like that a little.
I mean, one thing about that always made me laugh was like, do ghosts recognize daylight savings time?
Yeah,
Do they? Like,
unless it's like that time of night. Maybe they're not doing it exactly like 3 o'clock, but like
Yeah.
that
I understand
that
what
type
you're
of
saying.
night, like
that around that time. of
it's
the
like
evening.
it's deep
Yeah.
deep nighttime, and then the sun's coming up pretty soon, a couple
Yeah,
hours.
The
like,
sun's all the way on the other side of the earth, or
Yeah.
facing the other side of the earth at that point. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
That could
Maybe
be.
there's some sort of energy around 3 a.m. when it's that dark of the night. Oh,
Yeah.
who knows?
Very well could be. We're also huge ghosts and alien
Yeah.
fans as well. Just if
We're doing
you
another
haven't noticed.
podcast about that.
Yeah,
No,
we're gonna start another podcast.
just about
We're just gonna
aliens,
totally copy
UFOs.
everybody else's podcast format.
We can throw that shit in here. We'll just
We
do
totally
it
could.
all.
I think we could.
Horror movies and then sidetrack on some.
Hey, we could just do
Ghosts.
all horror movies about cryptids and fucking aliens and
Yeah.
ghosts and demons and everything. There's plenty of them.
Totally, plenty of them. And the, well, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot.
There's tons. There's tons. There's so much. There's the Illuminati and the New World Order. And how deep do you guys want to go?
Yeah,
We
we
could go on forever. But
it
anyway,
kind of sidetracks from
Yeah.
horror stuff.
back to
but-
the movie. We'll talk about our future podcast later. But so of course they have their dreams and they wake up and then everything's kind of gone to shit a little bit. So they decide like, hey, maybe we should do a seance. And the spiritual woman's like, no, absolutely not. That's a terrible idea. So
Of course, the guys don't listen to
of
the
course
girls.
the guys don't listen. The girls
So the
go
girls
out for
leave.
groceries and the guys don't listen. The first thing fucking Jack Nicholson does is fucking get up and he's like, man, we're just gonna fucking have a seance. And the guy's like, did you just tell your wife no? He's like, yeah. And he's like, won't she be pissed? And he's like, yeah, she's gonna be really mad. That's why
We
we're
gotta do it
doing
now.
this when she's gone, dude. So
Oh,
we
man.
start doing the seance and it goes terrible. Like
He starts tapping into the
Yeah.
dark side.
I thought that was a great little scene. Like it was so subtle.
That was how
Yeah.
it crept in there. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that was so
Here's
creepy.
when it starts.
Yeah, I loved it. And that's when now you're about 3/4 of the way through the movie at this point, and not a whole lot has happened. It's been a lot of talking
Mhm.
and like a lot of getting to know the characters and stuff. There's a couple of things have happened. The kids died.
Yeah,
know,
a few
but-
people got shot.
the girl got shot
Yeah.
and like so anyway, you find out that the town has this dark secret. So this house and the story that old man told the family isn't necessarily true.
Mhm.
Apparently there is some type of old entity or old gods or something that live under the ground of the house that demand a family of souls every 30 years. So this kind of added a new little twist to things, I
Yeah,
thought, where
definitely.
before you just thought it was like, oh, here's this classic fucking horror movie. the old family is coming back to haunt them, or the dead bodies are coming to haunt them, or whatever, who knows. But now you find out, like, oh wow, these people actually, the family that were supposedly run out of town for selling bodies, were murdered and are in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this old guy they kind of paint him as the villain, might actually be kind of a good guy if you consider it, if he's just trying to save the town of people,
Mm-hmm.
But then, I don't know. But anyway, they don't really get into it, but they basically talk about how if you don't feed this entity every 30 years, that he's going to come out and it's going to take out his vengeance on the town or what have you. And
Yeah.
he's like, remember the last time that happened? So anyway, so he's the bad guy. The old guy's the bad guy, definitely. So back to the house now. So the seance is going on, and the dude becomes possessed in the most clever of ways. It's
Definitely.
just a quiet thing. It's
It was
not
a very
like,
clever way.
yeah, it's not like The Exorcist. It's not like, the Possession, or what was that other one that recently, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Like,
Okay, yeah.
Where they all kind of follow the same like Christian type of exorcism type of thing, where it's like this slow ramp up. This guy just starts in on it right away. He's doing his incantation, he's talking, and all of a sudden he's like, and your bones will be slipped off your bone, like your skin will be slipped off your bones.
Yeah.
The one dude's like, whoa,
What did you
just say?
And then
dude?
he's like, oh no,
He's like,
sorry.
it's just an incantation.
Just snaps out of it.
Yeah,
Oh, that wasn't me.
It's just a
Sorry.
blessing. And then this keeps going on until eventually they're like, holy shit, he's possessed.
Yeah.
And the guy gets shot against the wall, and the candles blow out, and he starts, doing the classic demon voice, and talking
Spitting
like
everywhere.
this and spitting all over. And, and of course, the main guy starts freaking out, and he ties Jack Nicholson up. And right as all this is going on, the mom and the hippie chick come home.
Come running in.
Yeah, they come running in. And then it gets even more insane after that. Like, so the townsfolk have now decided that in order to speed up the process of feeding the family to the house, they have to take in matters into their own hands and actually kill the family within the house to kind of feed them. So the townsfolk are now closing in on the house,
running up to the house.
We got this guy's fucking possessed inside. He's going nuts. He's telling the woman that he just killed the son and the harlot, the boy's girlfriend are dead. She doesn't believe them. So they start screaming, and all hell's breaking loose in the living room. The possessed guy breaks free of the chair and starts smashing his hands against the wall, breaking his limbs, and it just starts going nuts after that. It's just hilarious. But that guy actually did all his own stunts.
Yeah, that's what you read.
So I was actually reading that he did all his own stunts for the movie.
I mean, it's not like he was like breaking out of windows and like driving high speed cars,
or, like,
but
jumping from a truck.
He did some good like action moves. And, like, some good strikes against the wall.
Yeah, he did all right. I thought he did a good job.
It was pretty good.
He played a good possessed guy.
Maybe he had to do his own stunts because they had no one else that looked
who are
like
they
him.
Gonna get? It's like a total low budget movie. Who are they gonna get?
Who looks like this guy? Not really anybody.
Apparently, the role was written for him.
Oh, really?
That too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The role was actually written.
Maybe because he looked like Jack Nicholson in The Shining, and they wanted his character when he was possessed to be like that. Maybe.
That's probably true. He does look a lot like him. I agree.
He definitely,
Yeah. Wow,
possibly.
Yeah. Good note, man. I like that. But so he ends up doing away with himself in a funny fashion. I'm not gonna ruin that. But so then now the townsfolk are coming in on the town, and the woman decides that, the spiritual hippie chick decides, like, well, my husband's now dead, my kid I just found out is dead, I'm leaving. So as she's trying to run away, I'm not gonna ruin it, but it's pretty awesome. So anyway, by now the townsfolk are like on full assault on the house, and they're coming in,
breaking through the windows,
but at the same time, the demons inside the house, the family that was murdered there, are coming out in full force as well.
So they're cornered.
Yeah, they're done for, man.
They're done.
Yeah, and you know what? I totally forgot to tell the story about in the beginning with the guy, the repairman in the boiler room.
Oh man,
Fuck, I forgot about the guy in the boiler room.
How could? That's when everything started.
That is when everything
when
started.
Somebody.
Oh man,
that was really good too. Cause
that was really good. So anyway, before all this starts, let's go back to the beginning of the movie.
Rewind.
So maybe it wasn't as slow burning as I remember.
I don't know why I made that noise.
Yeah. That's all right. That's our time machine.
My rewind.
That's our rewind. Zach forgot one of his notes. Let's talk about it. So anyway, there's a repairman that gets burnt, and they don't really talk about him after that. I didn't really seem too concerned. If some dude passed out in my basement and had like a horrific burn on his arm, and I'd be like, "What the hell?" But anyway,
so he was the first guy to die though. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think he died.
I don't think he died. No,
yeah, I don't think he died. So maybe that's why I didn't really remember it, because he didn't die. He just went on to fight another furnace.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he was the electrician. He wasn't even the furnace guy.
Oh, that's right.
He was saying he was electrician.
That's right.
And
yeah, because when the guy was calling on the phone, he was bitching about how the boiler almost killed his electrician.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Man, things make sense when you say words. That works. I like it.
Things
they do.
Makes sense when you say...
When you say words in a certain order, things make more sense.
Yeah.
I love it. Jesus Christ. So anyway, the town is on full-on assault on the house. The demons are on full-on assault in the house. Shit's going nuts. But what ends up happening? The demons, or the family, I don't know if they're demons or not, but they look like it.
They
start tearing apart the townsfolk that are coming in some of the most badass ways possible.
Oh, man.
It is so cool. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but just check it out. It's a pretty cool little scene. It moves really fast. The demons just do away with the intruding townsfolk in the best way possible.
Definitely, yeah. The way they did it, and honestly, the way that they looked too, like their costume, like the design, the makeup and everything, man, they did a great job.
Yeah.
When they finally showed like the family.
Yeah, because they were always kind of like off in the shadows.
Yeah, shadow like running by, like what was it?
Yeah.
And then like when they show the face and like
that was cool.
It was good.
I liked it. I liked when apparently that makeup took them around 2 hours to apply, and then about an hour to take off every time. And those full eye contacts looked like they were painful as hell.
Like full eye, not just your pupil.
Yeah,
like it was full.
There was a lot of close-ups of them too. They looked really good. I thought it looked great.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was good.
And I liked how, well, I don't know if we should say that, but like how they were, like their makeup, or like how they were presented in the movie is kind of how they killed people too. With burning and stuff like that.
We could talk about that. That's pretty, because that's really cool too. I like that about them, is like whenever they were around, they like did that crispy fire noise, like
or the characters it smells like smoke.
It smells like
smoke. The ghost would go by like right before that or something, or
whenever bad shit was gonna happen.
There's always a sign, smoke, or you'd see smoke. One of the scenes was someone's
like
about to die,
somebody's arm or something, and you knew that they were gonna get theirs.
The guy's just smoking a cigar back there.
That was cool. So the whole town's getting done away with, and the ghosts are doing it, and there's this big showdown. There's this other really awesome little scene where the woman from the bar is about to attack the mom, and that was pretty cool. I like that a lot. That was I don't know, it's such a good unexpected thing.
I thought you were actually talking about when the bad guy, his wife called.
Oh yes.
When she's like trying to warn them, but it's obviously too late for
when the towns go. That's right. Yeah. That's what happens. The guy kills himself. The Jack Nicholson kills himself. Yeah. They get a phone call in the middle of this saying, "Oh no, the town's attacking you," and that's when you see the town folks coming in. I'm sorry, I totally forgot about
that. Was a great scene too, because it's like you see what happens to her while she's trying to call and like warn.
Like, what's with this woman? She's always trying to interrupt and tell like something else.
Yeah. So and then she's able to probably before she died or something, because something happens to her.
Right. That's right. Oh, and again, we forgot that Jesus Christ. She passed the note to the guy when she
Oh,
was
man.
leaving, remember?
The note.
The note, yeah. What did it say? It was, okay, I wrote it down here somewhere.
It said,
something, the house needs a family, get out.
yeah,
The house needs a family, get out, in all uppercase letters. So that was kind of like another thing they said throughout the movie. It's like, the house needs a family.
Yeah.
The house needs a family.
You started thinking, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
like you
the
think
house
it's
is gonna
just
be
like a
killing
sweet
people.
thing, like that they say.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, move in. Home sweet
yeah,
home.
It needs a family. Like
Yeah.
a home's not a
Home
home
sweet
without a
home.
family.
Yeah.
No, they mean like this house eats a
Eats-
family. It
yeah.
needs, like, yeah. So, God, I can't believe we fucking forgot that.
We missed some good.
We
it's
missed
all
some
right.
really
It's all
good
right.
stuff here. That's
Maybe
why,
it's good because if anybody's listening and want to watch it, then they'll forget because we're jumping around a little bit.
yeah, that maybe I
It's
should
not a
follow
direct
the notes I
timeline
took
of-
too, because they're kind of in timeline order, but I'm not following, so that's okay. But either way, so the whole thing kind of comes to a head, and I don't want to spoil the end for you, but it was pretty cool. I thought they handled the end very well.
That's when all the gore happens. A lot
That's
of
when
the
all the
blood.
gore,
And
the last 15-20 minutes of the movie
Yeah.
are
And-
awesome.
the ending was good too because it definitely opened up for more for
Yeah.
another one, and yeah, it wasn't a finished.
Yeah,
Like,
right. And
oh.
I love that about it.
I
It
love
was
those.
just like there was no happy ending. You know, it was just like, that's it. Like, this is where we're stopping the train. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. That was great. I love movies that do that. Like, my wife hates movies that don't have a resolution at the end. Like,
Yeah.
she hated The Mist. Like,
I
don't-
loved that
I know,
ending.
right?
The best, and I've always said that best ending in any movie I've ever seen.
It was great.
It's
And
great.
even Stephen King himself was like, "Oh my god, I wish I thought of that." Dude, she watched that. She started bawling. She
Oh my
left the room
God.
crying and hated me for, like, she didn't talk to me for like a day
What?
because she was so pissed at me that I made her watch that.
That
Yeah.
is the best ending ever.
She loved it. She later admitted that, like, because she was so emotionally, like, it caused
Attached
such
to
a,
him.
yeah, it caused such an
Yeah.
emotional reaction in her.
Totally.
She realized, like, that's what he was going for,
Mhm.
where he pulls out your guts and you're just like, oh my god, like,
Yeah.
you want to feel, like, she said she felt like throwing up, and I was like, man, if Frank Darabont can hear you say that, he'd be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's a
That's
huge
ex-
compliment.
It is a huge compliment.
Thank you. I almost made you
Exactly.
puke.
Yeah,
That's
right.
great.
Like, without any gore, blood, or guts,
Oh,
I
yeah.
made you feel like you had to puke. Like,
Yeah,
man,
pure emotion.
it is.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
Success.
yeah, overall, I would say that this movie definitely deserves a watch by any,
Mhm.
you know, if you're a fan of that recent trend of, like, kind of doing old school horror movies in a new way, I think this would really be right up your alley, because
Yeah.
it scratches that itch.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't. It has those horror movie tropes in it, like, you know, the old man telling the story about the history of the house.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the townsfolk having a dark secret, and, like,
Hating outsiders.
yeah,
and all that.
the family, the getting revenge. Like, it had all these elements, but it had, like, the elements of, like, it took, like, 4 plots of other horror movies and meshed them together into one.
Mhm.
And I thought that worked really well.
Yeah,
'cause-
it reminded me kind of Amityville
yeah.
with the house kind of thing, and
Mhm.
then
It actually was. There's Lucio Fulci, not Fulci, Fulci. I'm sorry, Lucio Fulci movie. I should know that name. He's like a huge horror movie guy. I love his
Oh
movies
my-
too. He does.
I never even heard of him.
Yeah. Lucio Fulci. This movie, We Are Still Here, was inspired by his movie The House by the Cemetery, which I own, actually, and we should watch one of these days. I
Yeah,
actually own
that'd
it
be
on
cool.
DVD. It was an interesting movie, but you could definitely see the similarities. It's been, man, I have not seen that movie since I was probably about 17, 18 years old. So
When
it's
did
been
it come
a
out?
while. Oh God, The House by the Cemetery, early 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
before you and I were born, 80, 82, 83.
Okay. Cool.
Probably around there. But he also did, Lucio Fulci did this movie called The Beyond, which is another one we should watch, which is phenomenal. There's 3 movies that he has. It's The Beyond, House by the Cemetery, and City of the Dead, it's
Okay.
called. And they're dubbed his unofficial Gates of Hell trilogy. And it's like each of them have to do with like somehow opening the portal to hell or the gates to hell in some fashion. Like, you know, it's cool. It's
Nice.
out there. It's cheesy. It follows that same like old Italian horror movie, blood and guts, just over the top shit, and just it was cool. It's a perfect cheese horror movie. I love them.
Yeah,
but,
let's watch it.
This movie is definitely a nod to those films. We reviewed Deathgasm previously, and that was a nod to The Evil Dead and things of that nature. And this is definitely a nod to those old school Italian horror movies.
Yeah.
Like everything about it, the blood and the guts, and just it was great.
They tried to keep the dialogue 80s or 70s too.
Yeah.
She's driving?
Yeah.
Oh, it's progressive.
God, that was so funny.
So like,
I love that. Like when he was
the
in the car.
female's driving?
The females, she's driving? Well, they're progressive, Bill. Like, what the hell? That's so funny. It's just such for the times.
Thinking back, like, really? Is that how they thought? Like,
it was
a woman
if you
can't
think
drive?
about it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily that the woman was driving, but the woman was driving while the man was in the car. So I think they were like, if the man's in the car, the man should be driving.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, like when you were driving with your mom and dad back in the day, wasn't it usually your dad driving?
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, the mom would definitely take care of the kids in the back and shut up, slap them and stuff.
Shut up! Don't make me pull this car over.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's a thing. I don't know. I never really
that's
thought
a
about
thing.
that. I think that's a
now
thing.
I'm just like, you drive.
know.
I'm lazy as hell. I don't want to drive right now.
Oh God, I
Just-
can't get my
I gotta,
wife to drive
I gotta
anymore.
text some people. You
Yeah.
drive.
I'm terrified of my wife behind
Oh.
the wheel. I can't do it.
Dude,
I
I
have a
get-
panic attack.
She says I'm bad, but I mean, I'm just cautious. Maybe I drive a little slow because we're cautious or whatever. But
Yeah.
she drives pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh God. All women do.
Oh, man.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're just joking. They're gonna listen to this and what do you
My
say?
wife.
No, we're
That was a joke for my wife.
yeah, we're just trying to be funny and
Yeah. My wife's the only other person who's gonna listen to this.
and we're talking. No, we're just joking. We
oh.
all drive horribly.
I gotta mention this. The one line that I really loved in the movie, and this is like perfect. I loved it. I just like it touched that like part of that. You know, you just have those like moments in horror movies and stuff, or in life in general, where it's just like you remember it, and I'm gonna remember this always. Is when Jack Nicholson was dying, he was saying how their bodies or their souls are gonna burn until the stars go dark. And I was just like, oh man, like that's 14-year-old goth poetry if I ever heard it. But
Right.
man, that's fucking
Till
awesome.
the stars.
That's so metal. Yeah,
That's so metal.
it is, dude. Burning until the stars go dark, like
That's a long
basically
time.
eternity.
Yeah.
You know, but
That's
man,
crazy.
that was crazy to think about, because they will go dark one day.
Maybe they're already dark and we don't see that.
Oh man, Kyle.
It's still shining from the billions of light years away.
It very well could be.
It could be.
Yeah, that would be scary.
You want to go deep?
How
Let's go
terrifying
deep.
is that?
Yeah, I know,
Dark
right?
universe. That's even more
Yeah,
terrifying.
we see it as lights and stars, but
Yeah,
it could be already dark and we don't. No light hasn't hit us yet.
that's another podcast too.
Dun, dun. The darkness of stars.
The darkness
Nibiru.
of stars.
Nibiru.
Nibiru. Oh man. So yeah, that's We Are Still Here. Great little horror film. Definitely a nod to the old school Italian horror films of the day. Lucio Fulci's The House by the Cemetery is definitely inspired that movie, or this movie. Yeah, if you have Netflix and you want to check it out, please do. It's great. If you're a fan of old school horror, it's right up your alley.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
really should enjoy it.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, it's slow burning, but then towards the end, a lot happens, and it's like it was a good ending. Like it's good all around.
I don't think it's as slow burning as I thought initially, because
Well,
I'm
yeah,
starting to
there's
remember all that stuff
things-
that was happening. I was like, oh, the note. Oh wait, the guy, the repairman. Oh wait, shit, the son, the friend and the girlfriend died. Like, oh yeah, all these things happened that I forgot.
I guess
about.
we're just used to like small things happening like that
Yeah.
compared to like something big all the time, or like the gore movies that are just nonstop gore.
Yeah.
So I mean, random killings is just whatever.
Well,
We're so conditioned
that's
to it.
absolutely true. This movie isn't one of those where it's just like the people are just fodder for the knife. Like it's not like that at all. Like you know, you don't necessarily care about the people who are dying on screen. You kind of feel good about it because some of them are kind of assholes.
You already know, like, oh, here we go.
But it's not like it meant something. Like, you know, like the guy actually.
There's a purpose for it.
Yeah, precisely. You know, it's not a movie with a high death toll. It's not like a Jason movie or.
I guess if you think about it, the reason why it didn't kill an electrician, because then everything would have started earlier. So it ended up killing that son and daughter because nobody was home. Nobody would know that they were there and died.
The ghosts in this movie.
The people were home when the electrician got burned and everything.
They would know.
To
they
kill.
Just had to hurt him to get him out of there.
Yeah, to kill him then would have been.
Yeah. That would have definitely tipped him off. Yeah, this movie definitely. It's a smart horror movie. The ghosts are smart. Like you think at first, like, oh God, why is this happening? That's so stupid. But then you realize, like, oh wow, the house is actually trying to cover its ass. Like that's pretty fucking cool. You know, it's like you don't really think about it, but yeah, it's good. If you love Lovecraft, it definitely has that H.P. Lovecraft feel to it. You know, the feeding the entity underneath the house every 30 years, and the whole town who's in on this dark, you know, cosmic conspiracy.
Yeah,
like
dark secret.
Yeah, man. Like H.P. Lovecraft fans will definitely see the similarities like that. Like, it's a pretty decent flick. I'm excited for people to see it. So yeah, that's we are still here. Is that how we ended? We didn't figure out how we ended.
No.
So anyway,
I don't know. I feel like talking more, but I mean, we talked about everything. So
yeah, I don't know what else there really is. Let's see.
I mean, we could talk about. I don't know.
Went through all the notes. Could go through some of the little trivia pieces if you like.
Yeah, let's go through some of those. I mean,
sure.
This isn't really. I mean, it's on Netflix. Did you know the rating on Netflix? Like, was it 5-star, 4-star?
For me, it was 5 stars.
Okay.
It said, because I love scary movies and it knows that about me.
Okay, so it's like you would love.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we should do some trivia because then if people are 5 stars, they might want to know some outside stuff.
Yeah. So apparently, during his speech about, and this is the very beginning of the movie, Dave is the character's name. He's the old man that tells the couple about the tragedy or the horrors that
you don't want to go there.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The pet cemetery.
just like the Herman Munster from Pet Cemetery.
Man, I was thinking we should watch that movie too.
We should totally
Pet
watch
Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery. That movie freaked me out when I was a kid, man. That the whole thing with the son, the little kid coming back.
And that kid's he was in some other movies too.
He was in Kindergarten Cop. He was the girls have a penis or girls have a vagina, boys have a penis.
Oh my God.
He was that kid.
Yeah, he was so good for that being that little kid.
Yeah, he was only probably like 3 years old for that movie.
Scary as hell.
Oh yeah, that was.
And he cuts like his tendon thing under the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch that again.
Come play with me, Daddy. Oh.
Oh yeah, that was a creepy.
We'll do that one some other time.
That one freaked me out when I was a kid.
Dude, yeah. Oof.
But how did we get on that subject? Anyway.
I did the impression of the South Park guy. Don't want to go over there.
That guy. South Park uses that guy all the time.
So funny.
It is so funny.
Oh man.
But anyway, so that guy or that character in the movie, he mentions a university over in Essex County that the supposed funeral home owner sold the bodies to, and that is actually a reference to author H.P. Lovecraft's fictional university, which was located in Essex County.
Essex.
I can't talk at all. Another interesting thing about the movie, the whole movie takes place in wintertime. It was shot in the middle of February, and apparently it was cold as hell there. Yeah, it was freezing cold the entire time.
Yeah, that sucks.
What else do we got about it?
Well, luckily, not many shots were like outside scenes. They're all
Yeah,
in the
they
house.
did a lot of B-roll, like of roads and stuff like that. But
That's
yeah,
true,
it was a
yeah.
lot of it was done inside. There was that one scene where the hippie lady and the mom were walking down the street, and it was
yeah.
outside. But that was about it. Yeah, you're right. We talked about the vintage cars. We talked about it being cold. Um, we talked about how the roles were written for the Jack Nicholson
guy.
We
That's
talked about
great.
the burn makeup. Yeah, I think we covered everything, man.
Really, that's all they got in the website too.
Yeah,
Cool.
we worked in all the little tidbitly facts except
Sweet.
this one here. One of the telltale signs the film was shot close to the U.S.-Canadian border is that the Molson Canadian Beer Light shades that you could see in the Buffalo Bill bar.
Oh,
So
okay.
apparently that's a Canadian beer that you could get towards the border.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, and this is the art director on the movie is actually the kid you see, that the Bobby character that you never see, the supposed dead son.
Yeah. You see his picture though.
Yeah, you see his picture, and apparently they were just like, "Hey, art director with shaggy hair, you look like somebody's kid. Get in here.
Be this character.
Be this character.
Take a picture of you.
Yeah.
Put it in a frame.
Put it in the frame, be on the movie, and then get knocked down by a ghost.
Right. Breaks.
Breaks the
I don't think he likes it. He never liked this picture.
He doesn't like the picture.
He had a crooked smile.
Yeah, he always hit it when girls came over.
He's like, oh, he hates it now too when
right,
he's
from the
dead.
grave.
Really?
That's how he's communicating with you.
Stupid lady, give me some more whiskey.
Yeah.
Fill me up.
That guy drank a lot in
Oh,
this
yeah.
movie, man.
I mean,
he was a total
You would
lush.
think they probably made him that way because like their kid died.
Yeah,
and he's
they
like,
did say
"We
what
need
it
a
was like
drink."
2 months after the kid had passed and
Yeah.
they moved to this house. So I mean, that's super fresh and
Oh, yeah.
still. I mean, I know I would be in a super dark place and I
Hell
would be
yeah.
fucking definitely pounding back
Fill me
my
up.
booze. Yeah, for sure. In actuality, thinking back on it, I think that we're handling it pretty fucking well.
Mhm.
You know, for parents that would have to deal with something like that, I think they
Dealing
handled it
with
pretty well.
demons and everything in their house.
Yeah.
And they're just drinking
This is
whiskey.
before the demons, yeah. But yes, and then leading up to said demons would probably just make you want to drink more.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
If I was fighting demons, I'd be getting wasted all the time. Because usually when you're drunk, you don't feel as much pain. So I mean,
That's true.
maybe a burn might not feel as bad from
The
those
burn
guys.
from the demonic
Unless it's
forces
like
from
in your
beyond.
eye.
In your dead eyes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely go check this film out.
Do
It's
it.
pretty good.
Do it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Awesome.
Everyone have a good evening.
Yes, and stay tuned for the next High Horror Society.
The High Horror Society.
Wow.
I don't know what we're gonna watch next, but
I don't
figure
know.
it out.
We'll figure it out.
I'll
We'll,
text you like halfway through the week and be like, "Fuck, man, we should watch this."
All right,
All right.
and we'll just do it, and then
We'll do it.
we'll have it for next week.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
All right.
Peace.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.